The grass textures that you're seeing me play inside this game all started with me hiking out in the rain. What up, Winbush here. And it's raining outside, so you know what that means. It's time to go out and shoot some textures from my personal texture library. Now, there's a reason why I like going out shooting when it's raining. For one, my dog loves it. And for two, there's absolutely nobody on the hiking trails, so I could go out with just my cell phone and just shoot a ton of different textures in a cool atmosphere. And three, since there's an overcast, that means that there's going to be nice, even lighting. And with the clouds diffusing the light, that means that there's going to be a lack of shadow when I'm shooting for textures on the ground, on tree stumps, anywhere that I see some cool textures. Everything is fair game, and it's all nicely lit thanks to Mother Nature. And for today's scans, I didn't get a lot, maybe just about 9 or 10 because my dog wanted to pull back, but these are some of the textures that I got when I was on the hiking trail. So you can see I got some mud textures there. I got some nice foliage mixed with the mud. I got some other like flat mud there. It was like half wet, half dry. I got some hay that was out there. And then I got this really nice grass patch that has the leaves down there. So I'm pretty happy with what I got today. You can see my foot in some of these, but I could go through inside of like Photoshop or Affinity Designer and just crop that out. So let me walk you through the process that I take whenever I take my photos that I take from outside and then manipulate them. So I can use them inside of 3D applications like Blender, Cinema 4D, Unreal Engine, whatever I have to use for client work. That's how we're going to get it done. So I like this grass texture that's right here. So I want to drag this into Photoshop, but like I said at the top, you can use Affinity Designer because that's now free. I haven't used it yet. That's something I need to get into. But for right now, the only reason I'm using Photoshop is because I want to make this a square image. So anytime you're working with like 3D textures, it's always good to have it square. You don't want it to have it offset like it is right now. Like if I come up here to image, come down here to canvas size, you can see that the size of my image right now is 6120 by 7344, in which let's make this square. So I'm just going to make it 6000 by 6000. And now I'm going to click on OK, and it's going to tell me that the canvas size is just get it smaller. Just proceed. And there you go. I didn't even have to clone stamp my foot out because now we have a perfect square image where it just chopped off the top and the bottom. So now I'm going to save this out as a TIFF file. And then I want to show you this free program called Materialize that will make this into a tileable texture. Now, I know you might be asking, I was just in Photoshop. Why didn't I just make it tileable there? Well, this is a free program called Materialize. I covered it a couple years ago, which I'll leave a link down to that tutorial in depth because it's about 15 minutes. But quickly, what I could do is I could take my 2D texture, bring it into here, and it's going to give me a height map, a normal map, a specular map, everything that you need to make a PBR material. Let me show you. So like I said, I actually did a full tutorial on this, but just to go through this quickly, if you come over here to diffuse map and come right here where you have this O stands for open. So left click on this. And I know everything looks extremely small. I think this program is hella old. I mean, it looks like Windows 98, but I mean, it's still a good program. But when you go to your folder, you can see that texture that I just brought out of Photoshop as a square image. So I'm going to select this one. Now, even though I did get good lighting outside, I do want to diffuse this a little bit more because that's always good, like to kind of pull back the shadows and the lightings a little bit when you're doing PBR materials. So I'm going to come over here to edit, and you can already see that it pulled back a lot of lighting there. So this is even more diffused. And on the left-hand side, this is going to be our original image. If I come over here to remove light and slide it over, you can see exactly what it's doing right there. If I come over here to remove shadow, you can see how it's removing the shadow there as well. So I'm just going to leave it how it is like this. I think that looks pretty decent. I'm just going to hit set as diffuse. And then to make it tileable, you still do need to have a height map in here. So I'm going to come over to height map, hit create, and that's going to give us our height map right there. I'm not going to fuss around with this too much, but you do have some attributes in here that you can mess around with to dial this in even more. But I'm just going to set this as a height map. And you can see that as soon as that happened, now I'm able to create a normal map, metallic map, ambient occlusion, and I can also tile it as well. But let me add a normal map real quick. And then I'm going to set this normal map. And then I'm going to come back here and just preview my original image because I want to make this tileable now. So right here, it says tile map. So I'm going to left click on this. And you can see that now we have like the edges right here. Let me pull this down. I'm going to pull in a little bit. And then where it says edge fall off, I'm going to pull this down. So you can see we have a hard line in here. And if I just move over the fall off a little bit, it's going to blend it even more. So this is going to make it a tileable texture. Even though it's ghosting in here, I can bring this into another application that's going to fix this up and actually make this look really nice. That's why I wasn't really worried about shooting with my phone, because I can make this look a lot more higher resolution, in which let's do that right now. So now as you can see, we have the diffuse map, which is right here. We have the original right here. We have a height map and we have a normal map. Now remember, I said I wasn't really too worried about the resolution of my original image here because over the past couple of months, I've been fooling around with this program called Topaz Gigapixel. Gigapixel. So if you're not familiar, you can take a lower resolution image, you can run it through this program, and it's going to give you out a high-res image, and it works pretty well. I've been using it a lot for my texturing, but let me show you exactly the difference so you can see exactly the type of textures that you can pull out of it. So I have my diffuse texture in here. You can see we have the ghosting in here from making it tileable, and even though if I pull in, maybe to about 103%. You can see that the texture is decent, but I feel like with Topaz Gigapixel, we can make this look a lot doper. So over here on your right-hand side, you have a bunch of different models that you could go with trying to up-res this. I like using Redefine Realistic because it's going to take your image right here and just boost it up. I'm not going to do anything else in here. I'm just going to preview the entire image, in which if I wanted to send it to the cloud, you can see that it would take about a minute for it to translate it once on the cloud, but I'm going to run everything local here in my own system. But let's take a look at what Topaz did. So right now I'm zoomed in really, really close. And this is the original. Now, if I slide this over, you can see exactly what it did. So everything is nice and clear. And I'm even looking at this at like 123%. So you can see how I could take just like blurry normal images with my cell phone, completely up-res them, and you could get extremely close in here. Like this is at 177%, and everything just looks crisp and clean. So you can imagine bringing this into like a game engine and just seeing your textures and high fidelity, in which that's what we're going to do. Let's bring this in the Unreal Engine and just play around with it. So inside of Unreal Engine, I'm using 5.7, but there's a whole lot of templates that you could use in here just to kind of test out your textures. I'm going to be using this off-roading one, which I thought was pretty dope because I could hook it right up to my Xbox controller and just play it around for doing any type of play testing. But as you can see, I'm just building out your generic typical PBR texture in there. I'm just using the diffuse map. I'm using the ambient occlusion map and the normal map. And once I'm done, I'm just going to throw it onto the race car track. And now look at this, because once we're inside of Unreal, the really nice thing I liked about being able to use Topaz is I'm pushed in extremely, oh, that's a little bit too far, but I'm pushed in extremely close to my texture. And look at how detailed that is. Like we're pretty low down to the ground, like almost like a dog or a cat POV level. And the fidelity of this texture is just crazy. Now I know there's going to be some repeat patterns in here, in which if you've done any type of world building, you know, there's a variety of ways of getting around that. But the next thing I would say from here is just plug into our Xbox controller and let's test away. So I'm going to come up here, click on play, hit F11, make this full screen. Now, if I hold the right trigger on my Xbox controller, you can see now I'm just riding on the texture that I took whenever I was out there hiking. But yeah, this is probably the funnest part about throwing stuff into Unreal, even if it's just simple. You know, like I took my grass texture that I took when I was out there hiking with my dog, put it together, threw it inside of Unreal, and now we're just using it within like a real world scenario. So you can imagine if you're building out any type of game or any type of like 3D graphics, even for like TV shows or movies, like I do a lot, how this brings a unique perspective into your project, because this is a texture that nobody else is going to have access to, only yourself. And like I've been saying throughout this video, it's a unique texture that only you made, because you went out, you shot it, you manipulated it, and you brought it to life all on your own. So if you want to see more tutorials like this, make sure you follow me. I'm Jonathan Winbush here on YouTube. And until next time, stay fresh, keep creating, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'll see you soon. Take care.